I mean, his name is Luca Magic for a reason, and you see that. You see his play on the game. He's a very transcendent player.
Do you realize this, Malika? I played with 15 Hall of Famers. None of them cheated the game where they didn't give forth the effort on both ends of the floor. Again, Luka, this is why Nico and the Dallas Mavericks stopped believing in you.
Gil, what stood out to you the most about Luka's performance?
I'm trying to keep the excitement down.
It's okay.
Luka Doncic has never been a quiet presence in the NBA. From the moment he stepped onto an NBA court, he's been a walking headline, a blend of European finesse, unshakable confidence, and unteachable basketball IQ. But lately, the conversation around Luka has gone nuclear. This isn't just about triple-doubles or flashy highlights anymore. This is about legacy, about betrayal, about a trade that shocked the league and sent ripples through every front office, locker room, and sports debate show in the country. Traded from Dallas wearing purple and gold, and somehow playing the best basketball of his life. Luka Doncic isn't just thriving in Los Angeles, he's rewriting the narrative. Every game, every pass, every dagger three feels like a statement. And the league is listening, some in awe, some in disbelief, and some still clinging to the idea that maybe, just maybe, the Mavericks knew what they were doing. We're starting with a rising star who's not only electrifying crowds with his dunks, energy, and swagger, but also turning into a student of the game. Anthony Edwards is known for being bold, brash, and fearless. But behind that swagger, there's a sharp mind, and he's paying close attention to someone he calls must-watch film.
Watch how they attack it and watch how they try to manipulate itself, especially Luka. I watch a lot of Luka, seeing how he attacked the double team, even though we play at different paces, but just seeing his strategy to beat the double team, I think that helps me a lot.
That's not just a soundbite. That's one of the best young guards in the league, a superstar in the making, openly saying he studies Luka like he's watching a masterclass in basketball strategy. And let's be clear, this is coming from a guy who plays with elite speed and athleticism. But Luka? He plays at his own slow, surgical, unpredictable pace. And yet, it works so well that even a guy like Ant is taking notes. That tells you everything. What makes Luka so unique isn't just the numbers, it's the control, the pace, the decision-making. It's the way he picks apart defenses like a surgeon with a scalpel. Anthony Edwards doesn't play like Luka, but that's exactly the point. Luka's IQ, his timing, and the way he manipulates defenders has become a template for players looking to grow not just as athletes but as thinkers. And Edwards isn't alone. Around the league, you're hearing more and more young players talk about Luka's reads, his patience, and his ability to turn traps into opportunities. It's not just that Luka is putting up crazy stats, he's changing how the next generation views the game. That's how you know someone's not just a star, but a blueprint. Luka Doncic is setting the standard, and even the most explosive young talents in the league are smart enough to study the film. You want raw emotion? Let's talk about Mark Cuban, the man who once bet the Mavericks' entire future on Luka Doncic. In another interview, Cuban didn't dodge the question. He didn't try to spin it. He sounded like a man still trying to make sense of what happened.
Is it hard being in that position to go, this guy, you like the guy, you go, this is a skilled guy, but you have to look at a team's needs? And
yeah, it is, right? Because you develop personal relationships with them. And I love Luka, right? We weren't best buddies, but I would text him all the time and DM him and, try to, I would give him all these motivational quotes, even gave him books to read and stuff to read, and so we had a good relationship, got along great with his dad. I mean, I was just as dumbfounded as everybody else.
Let that sink in. Cuban didn't just say it was tough. He sounded like someone going through breakup. Texts, quotes, books, DMs. He was invested. This was personal. And to hear him now, you can tell, it still stings. This wasn't your typical cold-hearted front office decision. This was the guy who once fought tooth and nail to keep Dirk Nowitzki in Dallas. The same guy who celebrated every Luka buzzer beater like a kid at Christmas. And now, he's on the outside looking in, watching Luka put up MVP numbers in Los Angeles. You can hear the regret behind every word. Because when an owner starts reminiscing about sending his superstar motivational quotes, deep down, he wishes things went differently. And he's not the only one. Over on the Gilbert Arenas show, the conversation took a turn that even die-hard Lakers fans weren't expecting. Gilbert wasn't asking where Luka Doncic ranks among current players. He was asking something way bigger.
I'm trying to figure out how fast do I put him in my top 5.
Yeah. Laker? Top 5 Laker?
Top
right?
5 what?
Is that
Wait,
top 5?
All time.
A top 5 Laker?
Or top 5 player?
A top 5 Laker all time? Yeah.
Wait, what? Luka's only been a Laker for a short time, and yet here's Gilbert, an all-star, a scorer, a student of the game, already questioning whether Luka deserves a spot among the franchise's most iconic names. Gilbert isn't saying this for clicks. He's not trying to stir the pot. He's genuinely watching the performances, the control, the leadership, and asking, how is this guy already that good? That kind of impact, that kind of presence. It doesn't happen by accident. Luka's not just putting up stats, he's leaving a legacy in real time. And if people like Gilbert are already talking about top 5 Laker status, it's because Luka isn't just part of Lakers history, he's changing it. When LeBron James speaks, the basketball world doesn't just listen, they pause. Because LeBron isn't just a legend, he's a living blueprint for greatness. So when he took a moment to reflect on Luka Doncic and the journey he's been on, it wasn't just respect, it was empathy.
I mean, his name is Luka Magic for a reason, and you see that. You see his play on the game. He's a very transcendent player, and if you talk about that moment, you got to think. I can't put myself in his shoes because I've never been traded before, but I can have a sense and be a human being to know you commit to a franchise for 7 years and you feel like, this is the place where I'm gonna be. This is my comfort.
Let that sink in. LeBron is saying he can't even imagine going through what Luka just experienced. That says everything, because this is a man who's faced every kind of pressure, made controversial decisions, and carried entire franchises. And yet, even he acknowledges, getting traded from the team you built, the one you gave your all to, hurts differently. This wasn't just about basketball. This was about identity, loyalty, being blindsided by a decision that shakes your foundation. Because what Luka has done since then, responding with dominance, leadership, and unshakable poise, that is what makes him different. That's what makes him great. And when the king tips his crown to you, you know you're on your way to building a kingdom of your own. Jim Rome didn't mince words. No sugarcoating, no diplomacy. Just a raw take on what might go down as one of the most baffling trades in NBA history.
Dude, number one, you don't trade Hall of Famers. And number two, you don't trade Hall of Famers in their prime who are only going to get better. And you certainly don't trade them and say, well, we did it for the now, only to have the guy that you traded him for not play a single half before he went down again.
There it is. No analysts speak. No front office spin. Just common sense, the kind that fans across the league echoed the moment the news broke. Rome cuts through all the noise and says what needed to be said. You don't trade a generational superstar for uncertainty. Especially not when that star is still climbing, still unlocking new levels of greatness. And then to have that win-now replacement not even make it to halftime before injury, it's more than a misstep, it's a masterclass in mismanagement. Jim didn't just criticize the decision, he exposed it. And in doing so, he put voice to the growing feeling that Dallas didn't just lose a player, they lost the player. The kind you don't get back. Pau Gasol isn't one to toss around compliments lightly. A Hall of Famer, a two-time NBA champion, and someone who knows exactly what greatness looks like. He's seen it up close, played alongside it, and lived it in the brightest lights. So when he talks about Luka Doncic, you listen.
And then you get Luka, which is a generational talent, a guy that he's put up crazy numbers in his first 5.5 years of his career. First All-NBA teams. Yeah. Took the team to the finals with Kyrie and the rest of the guys last year, and then boom.
Gasol isn't exaggerating. Luka isn't just a great young player. He's already crafting a resume most legends would envy. First-team All-NBA selections in nearly every season he's played. Video game numbers on a nightly basis. Deep playoff runs that turn doubters into believers. And when Pau pauses and says, boom, that's the sound of a career shift, the trade, the shock, the moment everything changed. But even with that twist, Pau's message is clear. Luka isn't going anywhere. He's still that guy, still dominating, still rewriting the record books. And to legends like Gasol, the writing's already on the wall. We're witnessing one of the greats in real time. Kyrie Irving, one of the craftiest and most skilled players to ever touch a basketball, knows greatness when he sees it. He's gone toe-to-toe with the game's elite. He's hit clutch shots in the finals. He's played alongside LeBron. So when Kyrie gets asked about Luka Doncic's one-on-one game, he doesn't hesitate.
Magni, IWW, where do you rank Luka as a 1v1 player in the league? Luka's one of the best. One of the best of all time. It's one of the best of all time.
That's not just respect, that's reverence. And coming from Kyrie, a walking highlight reel with a Hall of Fame handle, it means everything. He's seen Luka up close, shared the court with him, watched him dissect defenders with footwork, strength, patience, and absurd shot-making. This isn't just hype, it's first-hand recognition. Luka doesn't beat you with flash, he breaks you down with precision. And if someone like Kyrie Irving is calling him one of the best to ever do it in isolation, that's not a compliment. That's a warning. Over on Locked On Lakers, the praise for Luka Doncic reached rarefied air. They weren't just talking about his numbers or his flashy highlights. They were talking about his gravity, the way defenses react to him, even when he's not lighting up the box score.
Stu Lance pointed out that, the Spurs weren't seemingly aware that this was a night Luka wasn't shooting well, or I was thinking, or they are aware, but that's just the power of a player like Luka.
Yes.
This happens with LeBron. We covered Kobe for 10 years. There would be games, or hell, even times post-Achilles with Kobe, where Kobe was, at that point, a shell of himself physically. He would still draw doubles.
It's muscle memory.
That comparison, that's legacy level. When your presence alone demands a double team, when teams panic at the idea of letting you find rhythm, that is greatness. Kobe had it. LeBron has it. And now, Luka does too. Even on an off night, defenses are glued to him, and not because he might go off, because they know he can. That kind of fear? You don't teach that, you earn it. Spencer Dinwiddie, Luka's former teammate, knows exactly how dangerous he is because he's seen it up close. In a recent interview, Dinwiddie didn't just throw out generic praise. He broke down why Luka is so incredibly tough to guard, especially in the post.
And once you add the post game, it changes that conversation with L, because you put a small guy on L, like he's really walking you to the block.
Christmas.
Like Shay's bump fade off the block, that's more like ISO two-man game. Like Luka really bury you. Like he'll just walk you down, push shot at 3 feet. You know what I'm saying?
What Dinwiddie is describing isn't flashy. It's fundamental dominance. Luka isn't just isolating like most guards. He's playing chess on the low block. He's using his size, his patience, and his footwork to punish mismatches. That slow, deliberate walk to the rim, it's intentional. He's wearing down defenders, waiting for them to make the slightest mistake. And when they do, it's already too late. While other perimeter stars rely on speed or quick pull-ups, Luka has a throwback toolkit mixed with modern IQ. It's why bigs can't switch onto him, and small guards have no chance. Dinwiddie's insight cuts through the noise. Luka isn't just a scorer or a playmaker. He's a bully on the block with the mind of a point guard. That combination, practically unguardable. Austin Reaves, now sharing the court with Luka Doncic in Los Angeles, didn't mince words when asked about his new teammate. For Reaves, this wasn't just about playing next to a superstar. It was about teaming up with a killer.
I mean, the one thing that I think everybody knows about Luka is he's a killer. Like, he's, at the end of the day, he wants to go win. And I've been able to watch him for a long time in this league, and that was one thing that I was really excited about. Teaming up with him was, at all costs, he wants to go out there and win.
That last sentence says it all. At all costs. Luka isn't just talented. He's wired differently. And when someone like Reaves, who's battled alongside LeBron James on the biggest stages, calls Luka a killer, you know it's real. There's a different kind of respect that comes from watching someone will their team to victory. It's not just the points or assists, it's the way Luka controls the game, the pace, the moment. It's the way he shows up when it matters most. And now that Reaves gets a front row seat, he knows exactly what kind of firepower the Lakers are working with. Because when you've got a killer on your side, especially one with Luka's IQ, craft, and unshakable confidence, every game feels winnable. Every moment feels dangerous. And every opponent? They know exactly what's coming, they just can't stop it. Even outside the NBA, the shockwaves of Luka's trade reached athletes across the sports world. And CeeDee Lamb, a star wide receiver in the NFL, was just as stunned as the rest of us.
Oh, bro, I gotta ask you about this, and I feel like you'll be good to answer this because it's basketball. What do you think about that Luka shit, bro? How do you feel about that, bro?
I ain't gonna lie. They killed the city with that one.
Bro.
I wasn't even expecting that. I
That
don't
was
even know.
brutal.
I think that happened at I don't even know what time it happened. But I remember where I was when I saw it and I thought it was fake. Because I saw it on a tweet and it didn't have, it was just a tweet, just the words. You know what I'm saying? You know how they do a mass
I thought it was fake
news?
too.
Yeah.
That's how deep the trade hit. It wasn't just basketball fans who were in disbelief. It was athletes from other leagues stopping in their tracks. CD, like so many others, had to read the tweet twice. No graphic, just a plain text post that felt too wild to be real. And when a city's NFL star says they killed the city with that one, you know exactly what kind of impact Luka had on Dallas. This wasn't just a basketball decision, it was a cultural gut punch. The kind of move people remember exactly where they were when they saw it. Because losing Luka wasn't just about losing a player, it was losing a symbol, a future, and a connection the entire city had built around him. And for CD and the rest of Dallas, that moment will stick forever. And when Jeannie Buss, owner of the Los Angeles Lakers, speaks, you listen. She's seen superstars come and go. She's watched legends walk through the tunnel at Staples Center and put on historic performances in front of the most electric fan base in basketball. But when it came to Luka Doncic joining the Lakers, even she didn't see the full magnitude coming.
I didn't anticipate the global impact it would have. I mean, I knew it was going to be a big story in the NBA, but he really is a global superstar.
How big is this move going forward?
It's going to be a lot of fun. Our fans are already
ecstatic.
And I love that he wears 77 because we've never had, if he was wearing 24, it's like, sorry, you can't wear 24. Yeah. It's retired. But 77, we've never had a 77.
That's the kind of excitement Luka is bringing to the Lakers. A franchise already steeped in championship lore. Jeannie isn't just talking about adding a great player. She's talking about a cultural event, something with international resonance. Luka's arrival didn't just make basketball headlines, it dominated global sports news. And that number 77? It's not just a jersey anymore. It's already becoming iconic in LA. A fresh chapter, a new identity. A global superstar carving out his own legacy in a city built on basketball greatness. Whether it's jaw-dropping statements from Gilbert Arenas, awe from Pau Gasol, strategy talk from Anthony Edwards, or validation from LeBron James, one thing is crystal clear. Luka Doncic isn't just another young star. He's the defining force of this NBA era. Everywhere you turn, someone's talking about Luka. His name doesn't just float in MVP conversations, it anchors them. His highlights don't just trend, they dominate timelines. His passes look like illusions, his footwork breaks defenders, his mind breaks scouting reports. And whether you're a rookie or a vet, a role player or a Hall of Famer, you're watching Luka. The trade that shook the league, it didn't slow him down, it supercharged the narrative. Instead of folding, Luka thrived. Instead of disappearing, he got brighter. And now, under the bright lights of Los Angeles, he's taken his game and his brand to an entirely new level.